He is clearly, in a unanimous ruling, sending a clear clarion call about what is going on and the violation of law and the violation of this man's due process rights. It is matched by Jack Goldsmith at Harvard, John Yoo. I mean, there is a remarkable constellation. So it is not sort of what I'll call the MSNBC crowd. This is not people just saying the sky is falling. You're seeing this across the board here, with people really understanding that the fundamental principles of this country are being violated. And yes, to your point, we are going to have in court the president's own statements, which, by the way, are directly responded to in the part of the decision that you read, where it's like the government wants to go ahead and prove that somebody is part of a gang and should be deported. That's the point. That's what the court of law is for, and it will be the court that decides that, not the president of the United States. That will be in the court proceeding, and certainly the senator's trip will be in the court proceeding, precisely for the reasons you note, that the only reason that Mr. Abrego Garcia is there is because of Donald Trump, not because of the unilateral decision of El Salvador.
Yeah, and so we don't know exactly where the meeting took place. Apparently it took place at a hotel in El Salvador, which means he was removed from the prison today to go to a hotel. They apparently gave him back the clothes that he arrived in and didn't have to, got him out of whatever the prison uniform is. There's a government official there apparently standing, facilitating this, that important word, Supreme Court word, facilitating. And in what we're seeing there, Andrew, this seems to be the pictures we're looking at now. These pictures seem to be extremely relevant to the Supreme Court's assessment of what is possible here. This is, a senator gets this kind of treatment in any country they go to anywhere in the world. They get maximum cooperation from any government wherever a senator goes. A president of the United States has even more power than what you're seeing Senator Van Hollen manage to exercise today in getting to meet and speak with this resident of Maryland who is now imprisoned in El Salvador. It seems to me the courts are going to be very, very interested in what the senator was able to accomplish versus what they would expect the president to be able to accomplish here.
Of course. I mean, this is one where, there's a reason that Judge Wilkinson described this as that not subtly veiled thumbing of the executive branch's noses at the court order. He knows exactly what's going on, and this really goes a long way to prove it. If you needed any more proof, for God's sake, we're paying to have that man kept in prison without any due process. But it's the fact that we're paying that is the reason he's there. If this was some unilateral action on the part of El Salvador, of which there's zero evidence of that, and in fact, all evidence is to the contrary, there's no reason that they would be arranging a hotel meeting outside of the prison for anyone. They would be saying, the United States has nothing to do with our sovereign nation. Instead, he's there only because Donald Trump wants him there and is paying for him to be there. That is the key point, and that is why the administration is not even answering the question, have you asked for him to be returned? They have still not answered that question, and this man is in jail where the Supreme Court has said his rights have been violated by the Trump administration. As Judge Wilkinson said, if you've done something wrong, it is time to make it right.
Yeah, as we speak, I just want to do one more question, but I want to keep those pictures of Senator Van Hollen on the screen because it is so inspiring to see what he achieved and seeing what his intervention means here. Andrew, the president of El Salvador has now done this typically for him, wise guy tweet tonight. He's very Trumpian in his wise guy tweeting, thinking he's outsmarting everyone. And his latest tweet tonight says, now that you've seen that he's healthy, we're going to keep him here. And this is a specific, what this president of El Salvador is doing, I don't think he's aware of it, is he is specifically taunting the Chief Justice of the United States, John Roberts. You can do nothing. You can do nothing here. You don't even have the power that Chris Van Hollen has.
So, I totally agree with you that this is somebody who may think he's being cute, but, his tweets have already been used in a court of law. Judge Boasberg, in finding probable cause that the Department of Justice and this administration has committed contempt. Just for a moment, let's just remember what I just said. A federal judge has found that this administration has committed contempt of his order. And one of the things he cites is the taunting tweet from the president of El Salvador, where the planes that were supposed to have been turned around land, and the president of El Salvador says, oops, too late. Well, it wasn't too late, and that was used. And, that is the kind of thing, that's the reason you see Judge Boasberg, the appellate courts, the Supreme Court, in not one but two decisions, a district court in Maryland, and now a conservative panel in the Fourth Circuit with Judge Wilkinson writing a truly scathing opinion. I highly, highly recommend people read it. It's 7 pages. It's written for the public to understand what's going on here, and it's apolitical. I mean, there's no way to trash this as some deep state judge who should be impeached. It's so important for people to understand how bipartisan the uproar is here about the sort of lawlessness and callousness of what is going on.
Andrew, please stay with us because I now need to squeeze in a commercial break in the middle of our breaking news here. And when we come back, I want to consider a question we've considered before, but this is now for a new reason. And that question is, did Donald Trump violate the law? We're going to squeeze in a break right here. We'll be back.